Are you frustrated or struggling with product research and finding a product isn't quite as straightforward as you expected? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. In this video, I'll share with you 3 tips that's helped me with my product research to be more efficient and productive with my time, and most importantly, successfully find profitable products. But first, welcome to my channel, and if this is our first time meeting, my name is Crescent. My passion is sharing tips and strategies on how you can create a successful Amazon FBA private label business. So if you enjoy videos like this, or especially if you've been around my channel, consider subscribing. All right, let's get started. So first off, I'm not sure why no one else covers this important step, but every successful business and entrepreneur starts by having a plan. A plan gives you a specific roadmap to follow and execute, and doing product research is no different. Put it this way, if you were learning a new board game, would you just throw the dice and move your piece aimlessly around the board, or would you learn the rules so that you can exploit them to your advantage? So how do you plan product research? Well, it starts by figuring out your goals. You're starting this Amazon journey to create an income stream, so how much are you after? Be realistic. A lot of this is going to be determined by your individual situation and needs. Some people are looking to generate an additional $500 or $1,000 per month, whereas others are looking to replace an existing income like $3,000 to $5,000 a month. This number is important to know ahead of time because the foundation of how you will actually do product research is dictated primarily by this number, such as the daily and monthly sales velocity and profit margin. Understanding what these numbers mean is equally as important. Your monthly profit goal will break down into a daily profit goal, which will then translate into a target profit per unit. These are all values that you will use as target criteria and filters while doing product research. Knowing these numbers and understanding their importance will help you to do product research more efficiently. For example, if your target is to make $3,000 per month, then you know you need to make $100 per day. That's 3,000 divided by 30 days. Now, depending on your profit per unit, if you're trying to make $5 per unit, then you know you need to sell 20 units per day to hit your goal of $100 per day, or 600 units per month. Likewise, if your profit is $10 a unit, then you need to sell 10 units per day, or 300 units per month. That's why it's important to figure out these numbers ahead of time so that you know what you're looking for and set up your product research accordingly, because these are the exact numbers that you'll be using and looking for when using product research tools like Jungle Scout. Instead of just using numbers someone else has told you, understanding why these numbers are chosen and where they are derived from will help you strategically adjust and analyze markets when you're doing product research. So before you even start product research, put together a plan. And once you know these numbers, write them down so you have them in front of you. Now, planning ties directly into the second tip, qualifying products. The biggest issue I see beginners struggle with is analyzing the data when looking at markets to qualify them. And generally, this stems from the lack of planning or not understanding what the numbers mean and how changing one factor affects another. By planning and having your target numbers in front of you, you'll understand what the numbers represent, and you can use them to quickly and easily qualify markets that meet your criteria when using product research tools like the Jungle Scout web app. All right, so for example, understanding what the numbers means is super important when it comes to doing product research. And there's 3 data points that you want to make sure you absolutely understand on why you're entering the numbers that you're using. So, for example, the price point here, why do we have a minimum of $15 and a maximum of $50? The reason is because anything less than $15, the Amazon fees is going to eat up most of the profit, so there won't be anything left for you to make at the end of the day. $50 is the maximum because you want to make sure that your product is an impulse buy. Because anything over $50, psychologically, people are going to put more time and research into searching for the correct product to buy. Now, going back to planning, if your target is, for example, $3,000 profit per month, that breaks down to $100 per day. And if you're aiming to make $10 per unit profit, then that translates to 10 units per day in sales, right? So how many units do you need to sell per month? Well, that's 300. So that's why this value here is a minimum of 300. Now, understanding that, you'll be able to tweak these numbers to fit any situation that you're looking for. So, for example, instead of looking for a $10 profit margin, if you have a product that only makes $5 profit per unit, well, then you'll know that instead of 300 units per month, you'll need to sell 600. So you can quickly change that while you're doing your product research. So, for example, let's just say you're not looking for $3,000 profit per month. Let's say you're only looking for $1,000. So that breaks down to about $35 profit per day that you need to make. Now, if your profit margin per unit was only $5, then the simple math is you need to sell 7 units per day. So if you multiply that by 30, then you need to find products that are moving 210 units per month. 210. And competition is based on the number of reviews, and you want to avoid niches that are super competitive. So that's why it's set to 75 here, so you're only finding products that have less than 75 reviews. So that's why you need to understand what the data means and how they're affecting each other. So instead of just putting numbers that you saw online in a video tutorial without knowing why, you understand what the numbers mean and represent so that you can use tailored values to fit your own personal search criteria and make adjustments as you see necessary, such as if you change the profit per unit, how it will affect the sales volume in order to still meet your goals. Additionally, when you're analyzing markets using a tool like the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, instead of guessing or having to ask for a second opinion, you can determine at a glance on your own if the market meets your criteria. For example, if your target is 300 units per month, you can look down the sales column to determine if most of the listings are in fact doing around 300 units per month. Now, for example, if you look at a rib rack and we analyze the market, if you understand the data and what you're looking at, you can qualify a market at a glance by judging whether or not it passes your criteria or not. So, for example, A, the price needs to be between $15 and $50. So if you look down the price column, you should be able to see at a glance if the average price is $15 or more. And again, looking at your monthly sales, you should have that number planned or written down ahead of time. So if you look down the sales column, you should be able to see again at a glance, if you're looking for 300 units per month, if the majority of these listings are doing that figure. Or if your target is 75 reviews or less, you can simply count it. Understanding this will help speed up your product research by eliminating most of the guesswork and having to rely on others. Analyzing markets should be pretty straightforward and a black and white process. Either it passes and meets all of your criteria or it doesn't. If you have to post screenshots to have other people look at it, then you haven't taken the time to understand what the data means or planned your targets ahead of time. So take the time to learn what the numbers represent and mean so that you can quickly qualify markets at a glance or make adjustments to your criteria. And lastly, time management. As a beginner, I realize that you are extremely excited and determined to get started right away. Passion and energy is high, and before you realize it, you've spent 10 to 15 hours a day on product research. I know, I was a victim of this when I started too. And what I've seen in almost every situation is that beginners find out real fast the product research isn't as easy as they expected and is much more difficult and time consuming. Now, this topic isn't covered that often from what I've seen, but here's where having the right mindset and managing your expectations is very important, as everyone only really ever sees these success stories and don't realize the weeks or sometimes months that went into product research behind the scenes that led to the success. So this is why I call product research the great filter. It is the most important part of the entire private label business model, yet it is the most difficult and the main cause of people or products to fail. You need to understand that if you can't get past the product research phase, you will not be successful with Amazon private label. So the most important tip that I have for beginners is to schedule your product research. Instead of doing 15-hour product research marathons day after day, schedule 1 or 2 hours to do product research each day. Pick a time during the day where you have the most energy, and when the time is up, stop. This way, you'll be excited to continue product research again the following day. This will help prevent you from getting burned out and discouraged, or worse, settling on a product out of frustration. This will almost certainly lead to failure, as in the impatient earnest to start selling something, important factors will be overlooked and the product won't pass all of the required criteria. Let me know in the comments if you're in the product research phase and if you've ever experienced frustration or burnout and got discouraged. If so, how did you overcome it? Did you use any of these techniques? Or if you have your own, please share them. So ask yourself this: are you going to integrate these tips into your product research strategy, or are you going to keep doing what you're doing, hoping to achieve a different result? All right, thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And to make sure you never miss a video, click that bell icon to turn on notifications. There's also a link in the description to our community forums, which you should totally join. And if you're looking for more tips and strategy videos, click or tap over here. And as always, thanks for watching.